Welcome to my channel. This time we're going to use again Manus AI, and I'm going to give a task that is very complex, but I want to see how it responds to it. And the task will be to write an algorithm that would allow me to invest in stocks. But the thing is, I will ask it to use an AI model to build and train an AI model and to use that model to predict, forecast the future evolution of stock prices and do a recommendation as to investment in the stocks. So that's pretty much the idea. So I'm going to give some directives in the like of build an AI model because if you just ask can you forecast the evolution of stocks, it's going to do things like gather information, possibly analyze reports or opinions from people. And I don't want opinions, basically. I want something that is more fact-based, objectively based on an analysis of historical data. So that's why I'm going to try to drive it to do this more analytical or system-based prediction. And I like to use an AI model. This is also a project that I like to implement by myself, but because we have this AI agent, I'm going to test it and see how much it can go. All right, so the prompt, what are we going to ask to the Manus AI? Well, let's say I'm going to do something like, okay, please, so build an AI model. So that's the basic structure of the request to predict the evolution of stock prices and to recommend me how to invest, say, $1,000 in stocks given the result of your prediction. Okay, so that could be the kind of basic, but I want to go a bit more. If possible, build an AI model to predict the evolution of stock prices through command. I'd like actually to integrate the macroeconomic variables, because I think that stock prices by themselves are not a good predictor of future stock prices. I think it's quite clear that the market is always using all the information that is available from itself. So I don't think there's any kind of trying to beat the market by looking at what happens just in the bus prices. I think it's been almost proven as well. All right, so based on historical prices and historical values of macroeconomic variables, such as things like interest level of the main policy rate, unemployment rate. So the other one that I like much is loan delinquency, and I don't need to write it correctly like this, etc. I can just ask and score values of a dozen of macroeconomic variable. Yeah, of a dozen. Okay. Right. So I think this looks like kind of okay. Right. So I had the issue already last time. That's because failed. Stop. So I can't even use that. It's a free system, so I'm not going to complain too much. I think it's pretty all right. Pretty clear that I'm not paying, so I can't really complain on this. And the thing I'm going to do, I'm just going to wait a bit. So I'm going to cut the video and resume when I can again prompt Manus. So see you in a while. Here I am again. So, all right, I managed to get the service working. And here what it says, I'll help you build an AI model to predict the stock price evolution based on this is what I wrote and provide investment recommendations. I'll work on this step by step, starting with data collection. Okay, yeah, makes sense. Model development, sure, and generating investment recommendations. It will take some time to complete properly, so I'll keep you updated on my progress. It's very nice because actually the truth is really updates in almost in real time, so we can almost see what it's doing. Um, oh, well, it's inactive. It's collecting the stock price data, but it says it's inactive, so I'm a bit worried about that. Can we see something here? Um, no, it seems to be actually not very available. So I do have the computer, but looks like it's probably not running really. Okay, it's a bit disappointing to be honest. Um, right, I really had high expectations for this system. just, I just feel I've been kind of betrayed on the expectation. Right. So I think it's pretty much doing the right things, but it's stuck. It's basically stuck on the collection. Okay, that's actually not an easy task. And last time, if you remember, on one of some of my previous videos, I asked it to find 20 years of SP 500 index, and it could. It could. Um, it used the Y Finance API, and that was working, so that was fine. Now, so that's stock price data. So I know Manus can do it. The other one is the macroeconomic. This is more complicated because actually macroeconomic variables are not just, like they are not published every day. Really, the frequency depends on the type of variable, but also, the websites. I mean, there's no API, and it's probably will need to use scraping stuff like that. But maybe you can find a better solution, so I can see. Analyze, develop the AI prediction model. So this is cool. This is really the step that I'm really most interested in. Then evaluate the model performance and accuracy. So this is perfect because actually, so I didn't ask specifically, but I think that whatever you want to predict, you always need to do some, back testing. So uh, just assume that you had the model already, like, 10 years ago, and run from that time, assuming or simulating the fact that you are using the model to invest in what would be your return, like 10, 20 years, is a very important step. And then generate the stock predictions and create investment recommendations and prepare a final report. So I'm really looking forward for the whole process to finish. But it says that Manus is inactive, so I guess I can't really continue here. It's stuck. So what I'm going to do is, again, I'm going to stop the video and then resume later when things are moving, and I resume this presentation. So processing the data, yeah. Handling the missing values and outliers. That's really great that this can be automated because it's usually quite a painful task to clean the data. Timeline, the data set, this is also very, very useful and absolutely necessary step that usually involves some kind of manually looking at the data one by one and checking the frequency and stuff like that and reconstructing the missing data and stuff like that. So it's very helpful if that can be automated. And the model development, so using LSTM, it sounds a good idea for historical data prediction. Train a model on historical data, right? Incorporate, okay, and generate predictions and develop a portfolio allocation strategy. Okay, optimize the, okay. It doesn't mention the, so it says train the model, but it doesn't validate the model, it doesn't test it. So I'm a bit surprised here. There may be something missing after the development, which is the testing, basically. So it directly goes to the predictions. So I'm a bit worried here. But anyway, so let's look at what happened. It's trying again and again, and in the end, okay. So it really goes into even more detail in a time during that the environment is off, and really it tries to buy time. All right. Would you like me to focus on any particular sectors or investment styles? Well, first I'd like to see something, and that's kind of weird that actually there's nothing. Okay, what happened? The Manus computers has encountered a critical issue. You can choose to reset the computer or start a new task. So basically, it's telling me that the computer is not available anymore, and I, I cannot see it on the right window indeed. So, okay, let's restart the computer. See what it does. Resetting the computer. All right. So action required. Waiting for user input. Really? Do I have to do something? Great. It has been reset. Excellent. Will we start our project? Okay. I feel like it's starting from the start, but as long as it does some progress, that's pretty cool. So now it's okay, executing commands. So it looks like the computer is. Well, here on the right, I can see that it's. I see something actually inactive, and so is it going to work actually? Is the computer working really? Well, let's see what happens. I'm a bit curious to see what happens. It's trying to execute the command. It's a simple command. It really takes a lot of time just to executing this creation of the folder, but it works, creating the file. And okay, so well, looks like it's trying to buy some time by starting with the kind of explanation of what it wants to do rather than actually doing it. And now, okay, now it's writing the Python for the collecting the data. Okay, let's look at the to-do. It's probably pretty much what it explained previously. And yes, and so, oh, so we've got this step of evaluate model performance. That's good news. I was a bit worried that it was missing, but it's pretty cool. I'm not really sure what it means by identify the correlations between variables, because the correlation are assumed to be embedded directly into the time series by definition if you use a multi-dimensional data. So this one is maybe it's curious to see what we get with this. Okay, but anyway, the computer is working. I can see what it's doing, what it's creating. So these collect the stocks, and so how many stocks is it going to? This is all like US stocks, the big ones: Tesla, Nvidia, Amazon, Meta, Alphabet. What is it? It looks like the major stocks that belong to. Is it not the SP? Maybe the Nasdaq, or maybe some ETFs that are based on this one, or maybe the largest capitalization within this the SP and the Nasdaq. It's possible. I'm not an expert here on these US stocks, so I can't really say for sure. But it's definitely calling the Yahoo Finance. What is it doing? Get stocks chart and insight. Interesting. Processes. There's a lot of this stuff that usually you have to write manually for, like, just converting the data is very painful usually to do. So it's really helpful if this can take care of that. Okay. So all right. So there's kind of check of the data if everything was successfully uh, loaded or not. And what is the conclusion on this? So collecting the data, troubleshooting stock data collection issues. So there's an issue. It's not returning any data. Okay, that's quite concerning. It's not returning any data. There's no data at all. Okay. Well, that's very nice that it can identify this issue. Can handle it actually. So what is the issue? No, this one didn't work. Oh no, sandbox connectivity issues again. I don't like that. That's pretty bad. Text editor doesn't work. So text editor, I don't know if it's VS Code. VS Code that is the editor for the Python code. Maybe it uses an extension as well to generate the code. I'm not really sure about that, but it's possible that so the generation for so the tool that generates the code is already terminal error. So the extension is already in VS Code, and the Manus is not generating code. It's just asking, it's prompting the tool to generate code for itself. All right, so it goes again with the plan that is not really helpful, because if it cannot execute the plan, then what's the point of using Manus really? Okay, so again and again. All right, yeah. Again, connectivity issue. So yesterday or 2 days before, the issue that I had was that the Manus was not available, so you could send a prompt and it would just say that there are too many requests and it cannot execute your request. Okay, that was it. And now it's a bit different, because now it looks like this is a computer issue, connectivity. And I'm much more concerned. All right, I don't feel like we're really progressing here. So I think I may stop here, or maybe a miracle. I don't see the point really in going further at the time. Oh, wait. What is this? All right. At time. Okay, it's okay. There are 3 users on the computer. Okay, so several people are using the same computer. So is it because then okay, it's stable, it's cool, but it means that yeah, the computer is shared. I thought I had my own computer, but that was a bit naive, of course. So it means that many people also are connecting to Manus, and so they've been invited. I received also 2 invitations actually from different emails, but it means that more and more users are connected to Manus computers, and okay, so I can understand that in the end, well, it's just not responding in time. But rather than just not being available, is like unstable. It's difficult so to predict what is going to happen. And Manus is quite strong. It's quite resilient, because actually it starts again. You know, it's not. It's never like saying I give up. It doesn't give up. It just goes with the flow. And this one, is it the same code? Since we encountered issues with the Yahoo Finance API, I'll create synthetic stock data that mimics real market behavior. Now this is crazy, because I completely get the point, but so it's basically saying this task, I can't do it, so you'll do it by yourself, or you just skip that part. And so if I have seriously no failures in data generation, well, that's because you just generate it. It's just crap. That's crazy. I can't believe it. So, all right. It's very disappointing. It's cheating. It's literally cheating. This stuff is just pretending that it did the task without. Because I was very clear in my request. I believe I was very clear, you know, uh, based on historical prices and historical values of macroeconomic variables. And do we have also the macroeconomic variables? Because this is the no, this is only the stock prices. So can we expect that it's going to try the macroeconomic data? But that is a difficult one. I didn't know this databank API. Maybe I could have a look. I'm a bit curious. Oop. API. What is it? Doesn't really say databank. Right. I can't really find something about databank API. So does it work? Collect. Still kind of stuck on this. So this one is really dirty. Collect historical data. Done. It's basically saying this is done. Really? Are you sure? Now it's doing something again. Did it skip this step of collecting and just jumping to the okay? Okay, now it's doing it. Okay, let's look at the Python script. Okay, so what is it exactly? So again, we've got this API client. So I'm not very familiar actually with this API client. And from there, it looks like there's a bunch of like API and here, so it's using the data bank indicator data API. Okay, and probably sending all the codes that we see above here. So interest rates, that's pretty cool. That's really cool, yeah. Oop. So collecting no data, no data. Okay. The DMNP is not defined so here. That's just a bug. It's just a stupid Python bug. So did it forget to import NumPy? Is that as stupid as that? Really? Collect? Is it here? There's no import NumPy, but it's using NumPy. Really? Is that what it is? That's kind of weird. I noticed we're having an issue. You forgot to import NumPy. Yes, you did. Okay, let me fix that. That's not a big deal, but why? Why did you forget? Did you generate the code or did you ask the VS Code? VS Code is stuck. It's completely stuck. It's not surprising because it's a very heavy application, and if we can imagine that there are 3 users on the same computer using each a different instance of the VS Code, then yes, there are some reason to think that the computer may not be completely stable. But anyway, it's thinking how to import. Is that it? Is that it? Editing, cool. Please import NumPy. Please do that. Just right now. It's not a big deal. Why is it taking so much time? I can't believe it. This is just very frustrating. So you need to be patient if you work with. You need to have time to work with Manus because it's taking its time. I hope there's a paid version that where you have your own computer and where you can use the full resources of the computer instead of sharing with other people. That would be appreciated. All right, so it's running the code again, And I don't see an import numpy yet. It's the same file, right? Can I? Oh, okay. Now I clicked and I saw that there's this import numpy. Excellent. Oh, so this is okay. This one is crap. But okay, that one is I've collected synthetic data for 20 key economic indicators. That's great. As you requested. Yes, I did request. I did. Okay. Hmm. And it's trying to please me really because I kind of made a mistake there. So it's trying to compensate. Probably. Now I'll move on to pre-processing and analyzing this data to prepare it for our AI model. Now I'm looking forward to looking at the result, really. Okay. Keep you updated on my progress as I work through these steps. I feel like it's going to take ages. But yeah, let's just wait and see. Okay, what is it doing right now? Right, save all data in a structured format. That is great. I love this. Right, nothing much now. Just what is this? Previous, so we can switch between the various files, and this one so is command, so it's really the Ubuntu command line. Amazing. Okay, that's the file that we have. That's very interesting. Right. Now pre-processed data. Okay. What is this? So it's processing the data before loading into the model. So here it just basically takes from this CSV file what it does. It converts the date into the proper format. It sorts the data. It's not a big deal. Yeah, not a big deal. This one is amazing because it really knows how the date works. It's converting as it should. So it is a bit impressive and very time efficient to let Manus do it. Calculate technical indicators. The moving average. Yes. So it's calculating like additional features on top of the original features that I asked. Whoop. Okay. Doesn't it's not very strong with importing stuff, but anyway, that's fine. Let's go back to where we are. We were so the gain is what is the delta the diff. Okay, so it's calculating the 1 day differences and then calculating the instances where we have a positive return and where we have a negative return. But this is an absolute difference. This is a bit surprising because normally in the world of stock prices, we don't use absolute differences. This is really not what we use. We use the relative differences or the log returns. So 1 minus 1 point subtracted for in the evaluation of this RSI. So this is another indicator. The moving average exponentially is the moving average convergence, the divergence. Okay, with okay, so a weighted moving average, right? Interesting. The Bollinger Band. So this one, I don't know what it is, but it knows, and the so this one is the percentage version. So this one is actually the return, and this one is computing the alright, so the standard deviation, which is yeah, it's just the standard deviation. So it's not even rescaling for the um, the actual annual unit, which is the standard unit for volatility. It's an annual percentage, and this one is a daily one, if I'm correct. And it's a very small window, 20 days. It's extremely small. align the data monthly. So it looks like the macro data is monthly, yes, and then it's trying to align the stock data, which is daily, to the monthly frequency of the macro data. What is it doing then? Resample, so it's just removing this additional data. And so are we not losing data here actually? Because the stock prices are daily, and it's just ignoring this daily data. And actually, what macro to the monthly? The macro as well is converted to monthly, so everything is just monthly. But are we losing a lot of data by doing that? The combined data set. But at least it's got a combined one. But I'm a bit scared about the fact that nothing much is going to remain in terms of the data. Anyway, analyzing correlation. So we need to remember that the data for the stock prices is not even real data. So we don't even know what are the assumptions used for generating such data. The macro column, so it's got the open, high, low, close, volume, measures, close, the mean average. Okay, the indicators and stuff. The correlation matches. Why is it doing that? Just want to extract, and then what does it do with the installer result? It's just storing. Okay, create the correlation heat map. Okay, it's just for the user to know, basically. But that's very interesting. If only that was real historical prices, that would be nice. But it always like not always actually. Before I managed to get the historical prices for the SP 500 index, so that's on my first and second videos on my channel. But here it couldn't do the same thing. And saving to JSON, I'd be surprised using JSON, not CSV. But why not? Perform the feature selection. So why does it select the features based on the correlation straight? Oh, I see. So get the top macro indicators by absolute correlation. So the most correlated, going to, what does it do? I would be glad to have correlated macro indicators. Technical indicators, okay, we use this plus the correlated macro indicators. It doesn't use the stock prices, it uses only the technical indicators and the macro indicators. So stock prices are just out of the equation, if I understand correctly. And this one is sorting sorting, yeah, and reverse. Then it's taking the top indicators with the highest correlation. So it's basically excluding the macro indicators that are less correlated with what? Because this is the correlation with what, basically? Is it the correlation? That I'm not sure. Just looking at this. This correlation dot atoms is something that was probably returned here. So it corresponds to top positive, top negative, all correlations. It has to be a two-dimensional thing. So it's there's a key and there's a value, but the V looks like it's is it already the correlation? I'm not sure. In the meantime, it's installing TensorFlow. Why? Because did it write some code and again it didn't find executing the command using LSTM. Cool. A few minutes, yes, of course. In the meantime, so just here, I'm not really sure completely what is done. It says that it used the top macro indicators by absolute correlation. Absolute correlation. So the mostly positive or the mostly negative correlations, but correlation between what and what, that is not clear. And these are the features that will be used for the model. Okay. All the necessary columns and selected features. Simple. This runs on the symbol, so okay. Is this a dictionary? Yes. Okay. So we basically we run through the symbol. Okay. This is a feature, and it includes the feature, and then it is the date and close. Okay, and then close mean, etc. Normalize. Strangely, this is done very manually. Okay, using the range. So what happens if the feature is constant? This will return a 0 and it will divide by 0. Not very smart. There's no test here for error handling. Create the target variable next month's close price. The next month, so it's trying to predict the next month. Did I ask to predict the next month, or did I mention that I wanted to invest in monthly? Not at all. I didn't mention monthly anywhere, but somehow it insists on using monthly, and and the target variable is the next month. So it's going to train by knowing the by training against the real the target, which is the 1 month after. So it's basically taking the data 1 month after. Create the target variable price change direction. Okay, why not? Okay, all right. Store and training data dictionary. So this is the data for training. Okay. Okay. So prepare training data pre-processing successfully. What is this? Prepare training data and then generate summary report. What is this? Create a summary report of what? Macroeconomic, okay, correlations, okay, that's cool. But where's the model? Prepare training data, so pre-processing. I don't know, this is just the pre-processing, so is this storing the data from there? Probably. Yes, pre-processed, yes, okay. So, okay, so then it's going to reuse that in the model, okay. So installing TensorFlow, installing scikit-learn, we encounter an issue with the model training. Our process data fields are empty, which is preventing the model from training. Not a surprise. Path issue and while we're accessing. Okay. Need to check the file path, ensure the process data was correctly saved. It's just it's kind of very basic issues that is generating. It's quite surprising. I mean, it has to be clear on how it stores the data, right? I mean, storing itself, and why can't it find it then itself? The data file exists, but only contain headers without any actual data row. Processing. So this is interesting because there's a bug and it's trying to fix the bug by doing some checks. So first, the alignment between the stock and the macroeconomic data. So it's indeed it was keeping some data because it wanted only to keep the monthly one. So that's possibly an issue that resampling and then recomposing the data is not properly done. Ensuring the proper data transformation and normalization. Correctly saving the processed data to CSV files. Once I fix this issue, I'll be able to build our LSTM neural network and stuff. Okay. Troubleshooting and fixing the pre-processing step to generate proper data files for model training. Okay, improve pre-processed data. Okay, cool. That's pretty cool. Editing the file, creating the file. So usually here it's already there, right? So what does it say? Does it look like it's getting better? Align the data monthly. So the code is different indeed. Create a combined data set and it monthly stock data. Ooh. Okay, so again, what is this? Bad key, probably okay. 20 rows, 61. What is this? Rows. Doesn't sound like a lot. Fixing and building and analyzing correlations. Okay. All right. So what is it doing? Using the terminal, executing so the Python script is running, but it's analyzing correlations. It's not going further, right? So analyzing correlation, was it it's not the last step actually. Ooh, did work. I've successfully fixed the pre-processing issues. The script has properly loaded, calculated, aligned the stock, analyzed the correlation, selected the most relevant features for the stock, saved processed data files. With 51 rows each for all 20 stocks. 51 rows only. So 51 months. Okay. So if we divide by 20 by 10, so 12 months a year. So how many years it is? It's not even 4 years, 3 years basically. It's not a lot. Not a lot. 3 years. Around 4 years. I'd like to see the result of this summary report. I'm not really sure how to get to that file though. Yeah. Generate a summary report. What is it generating? Is it the empty file? Where does it create the file? I can't really see that. I'm not able to say where it saves. It just adds stuff, right? It adds in the report. And I don't see where it's a function to generate a summary report, but is it saving the report? What is it doing with this? It doesn't return anything. Report plus plus just adding stuff in the report. Response clip. No. this is not clear. Anyway, again, so technical issue in the model training process, training successfully for this POI, but there is an array shape mismatch when calculating the directional currency. This is a common issue, really. Okay, and I'll fix it by adjusting the array dimensions in our model upgrading script. Let me modify the code and continue building our AI model for stock price prediction. The model is showing promising results so far with decreasing loss values during training, which indicates it's learning the patterns in our data. That's very comforting. All right, so it's fixing the thing, the operation error, right? What is this? What? Again? Is it going to tell me that, again, the environment is broken or something? Wait. It's unstable again. All right. Again, okay. So let's reset the computer. Sandbox loading is taking too long. Reset the computer is a bit weird because if there are other users on the same computer, then I don't see how I can really reset the computer without affecting the other users. Okay, so it has completed the current task. Seriously? So that's it. So Manus just stop here. It's not over. It was trying to fix the issues of the shape mismatch, and that's it. All right, that's it. Okay, so this experiment is very frustrating because it's very time consuming. I should just let it run for hours, and then when I need to reset the computer, just click on the reset computer, and I could save times. But but at the same time, now this shows that for potentially too complex tasks, there is this potentially limit that it cannot go more, do more than a certain amount of tasks. So this is not really clear, but there's a lot of log, and I'm wondering if there's a limit of the capacity to provide users with the task. So in terms of workload or in terms of quantity of or number of tasks, it's not clear. Okay, it's proposing to reset the computer again, but I'm afraid that the task is completed anyway, and how long did it take? I think that also it's supposed to tell me the total time that was spent on this, and it doesn't this time. I'm not sure, but I think that for okay, try. Yeah. What did I? I'm pretty sure I had some requests that worked well. Now it's telling me that nothing's working, so I'm not very happy with this. How about the other ones? Do I have time and stuff? No, there's no. I don't see a mention of like how much time was spent on the task. If I go there, didn't finish the last task actually. And this one, so it's over. Unfortunately, it's reset, but that is all I could get. And now I can't even see the model Python code. Maybe this one. I'm looking for it. Okay, okay, yeah, I understand. Um, this okay, it's still trying to reset the computer. develop the AI production model. It already did that actually, so it's stuck in this step, and I need to restart the project. Okay, looks like we can. Okay, it's not over. Sorry, I thought that the task was completed. Let me recreate our project structure and continue with our plan. Interesting. So we have to be patient and try again. Basically, just be positive. Start the project after the sandbox reset. Continuing with building the prediction model. Okay, so that sounds good. We're saving a model. There's a lot of stuff going on. What is this build model? Okay, that's the output of the Python. Stop because the context is too long. The context is too long. Please start a new chat. Get support with the issue. Do I want support? All right, so task link. I need a task link. Can I get that? Where's the task link? Is there a link? Share. So we can share. Fuel phase. Oh, there was this as well. I kind of forgot this actually because I was wondering about the result of the correlation stuff, but we didn't produce anything. Or did it? Images? No. Documents to do. That's the only thing there is. Okay. A bit underwhelming. Okay, so publics. We can't. We can send this to. Okay. All right. Right. So the task could not be completed. This despite being promising. Okay, so let's send this. All right, cool. Solve historical test starting. Why? So it said stopped, but I don't know why it says that now restarting was collecting historical stock data after the sandbox reset. So is it really started? Manus performance may decline was extremely something. This is not really cool. It started from the beginning again. Okay, I don't want that. I think it's time just to bail out. All right. Okay, so that's a good example of a very complex task and what Manus can do and how it can fail. So I guess we need to be careful with not asking for too complex tasks because it's going to get stuck in the middle. Another thing is it's produced already some output, and I'm a bit curious if it's possible to reuse this output in another task, meaning that I could ask so start a new task and say, okay, you already did this, can you please reuse it? And then it doesn't have to start from scratch. So that's the question that I ask to myself. But for the moment, I'm going to stop here in this video, and I think that you will understand what is the current issue, and I will probably try to solve this in another video. Okay, so thanks for watching my channel. Bye.